And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Atlanta Motor Speedway as we cap off what has really been a very exciting race weekend here at this amazing 1.5 mile racetrack. This is the Dollar General 500 version 3 of the Snickers Cup Series Division 3 of Season 3. That's a lot of threes. Anyways, we are just on the verge of starting off the Season 3 All-Star Race weekend, where all three series will head to NNSCRA Super Speedway for some action-packed racing and no points, just pride and purse on the line. But we have these drivers here who are going to try and get the final golden ticket to Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, which is the All-Star Race in the Snickers Cup Series. Emilio Navarre has done it. We just had Dylan Young do it. Who else will be able to do it? Some drivers in this field already have that golden ticket, but there are a lot of them that still want it, and they're going to try and get it here today. Jacob Boyer, in only, I believe, his third start in this series. I believe it's either his second or his third, but nonetheless, he's learned awfully fast. He just clocked a 2:11.232 lap to get on the pole for this race. He'll start alongside of Toby Ward, the only Ward who is yet to pick up a Snickers Cup Series victory. Of course, both the other Wards, Ben and Barney, did it last week at Pocono. Arnold Columbia, he's got a win to fall back on that'll get him into the All-Star race after winning at Talladega 2 weeks ago. He'll start off in third alongside of Jeff Ehlers. Who is going to go to victory lane here today? Well, we have no idea. We're going to have to find out. 49 laps of racing. The command to fire the engines has been given. The pace car will peel off. And here comes the starting lineup for the Division 3 of the Snickers Cup Series. And it is brought to you by Germain Racing. To be able to get the last chance to be in the All-Star race. Now, obviously, it's not the last chance, period, for a driver to make it into the All-Star race, but it's the last chance to get in via a points win. Here we go. Jacob Boyer, Toby Ward, green flag is out, and we're racing for 40 laps of exciting 3 and 4 wide racing at Atlanta. Inside line is going to be the preferred line. Look at Bill Doverpool, last week's winner at Pocono. Picked up his first career Snickers Cup Series victory, moving not defending champ, but former champion Dougie Shears up to the high side. Both of them will face each other in the All-Star race. As Boyer will lead off of turn 4, in the first lap of the race is going to be led by Boyer by inches. Arnold Columbia charges to the inside. He's looking for his second win of the season. Of course, that very paint scheme, I believe, was what went to victory lane at Talladega. It may have been the Gatorade paint scheme, but I don't remember. And here comes a battle between two former winners. Seth Cole, he won earlier on this season as well. He'll be in the All-Star race, but he's got Ralph Mason all over his back bumper. Liam Irving is there as well. And a driver we'll be keeping an eye on during the course of the day, Ryan Acosta, winless this season, but in the top 10 in standings. That's enough to get him into the All-Star race if he can remain in the top 10 in standings. And he's got quite a task in front of him. Whoa, he nearly turns our leader, Liam Irving. Irving holds on to it, though. I'll tell you what, we've seen some spectacular saves here at Atlanta. No doubt about that. Here comes Jake Rogers. Here comes Aaron Williams. We'll see both of them in the All-Star race as well. And the caution's waving. Caution is out. Liam Irving got Ryan Acosta at the line. But the caution's waving, and oh man, there's a lot of drivers involved in this one. Rachel Williams, Aaron Reed, there's Brad Namia, Pichu London. Ryan Juke is involved. Mary Cole, Wyatt Morgan, they may have gotten some of it. Dylan Schwallenberg is in it. Our Season 1 Snickers Cup Series champ, Dougie Shears, he slipped back, and now he got caught up in that. Oh! And the record further up here, that was Max Skinner going plowing into the back of, I think, that was Toby Ward. It was indeed our outside pole sitter. He just rammed in the back of him, did Max Skinner. And so the caution's out, pit stops are being made, and it looks like everybody, with the exception of Michael Harvey, is coming down pit road. So Harvey may be the leader when we go back to green flag racing Harvey started off in dead last. Actually, nope. A few other drivers staying out. Felix Harris, Ralph Mason, and Jacob Boyer. Let's see what we're under the caution flag for. Okay, we pinpointed where this wreck starts. Right here. Rachel Williams is going to turn Dylan Poteet out of the exit of turn 4. Down just barely. Clips Pichu London. He slides and clips Wyatt Morgan. And Max Skinner does a good job getting through there. Aaron Reed, he gets caught up in it there with Rachel Williams. The two of them go spinning. Something further up there with Dougie Shears. We'll catch up with that in a minute. We may actually get to see what happens. There you see Dylan Poteet getting turned again. And he goes to the inside of this. Dylan Schwallenberg's trying to get by Aaron Reed. And Ryan Juke is to his high side, so he's involved. Oh, Dougie Shears just got caught up behind Pichu London and Wyatt Morgan, who slid up the racetrack. And then Aaron Reed, Dylan Schwallenberg, Mary Cole, Rachel Williams, Ryan Juke, they just all squeeze up and into the fence. But we had others involved. There he is. I was going to say, where's Brad Nami? I saw him get involved right there. He gets into the left front of Rachel Williams' machine. Excuse me. And the Quaker State Chevrolet gets involved, and that was pretty much it. That put us underneath the caution flag for the first time today. I would say maybe a total of 9 to 10 drivers involved in that incident here on the front straightaway. So we'll go back to green flag racing on lap 8 of 49. Felix Harris did not pit, and so he inherits the lead. Others who did not pit are second place, Ralph Mason, third place, Jacob Boyer, and fourth place, Michael Harvey. First driver to make a pit stop was Liam Ervig. He is fifth. Sixth is Ryan Acosta. Seventh is Aaron Williams. Eighth is Seth Cole. Ninth is Brandon Gonzalez. And Matthew Rodriguez rounds out the top 10. Drivers out after that incident are only 2 race cars, and they are the cars of Ryan Juke and Brad Anamia. So, some of the drivers we were keeping an eye on here that could have fallen out of the top 10 in standings. Right now, Ryan Acosta running very well, still in the 6th position. And the Slim Jim Ford, very likely he could represent that ride in the All-Star race. Talk about Ryan Acosta just a little bit. Last season, he was not a full-time driver. He drove the 6-car part-time with Noah Cars. So, put him in a full-time ride, see what he can do. And he certainly has surpassed all expectations. But here's Felix Harris. I think this is the first time we've seen Felix up in front at a Snickers Cup Series event here in Season 3. He will come down and he will get the green flag to put us back in green flag racing on lap 8 of 49. Remember, the top 4 are on older tires. Liam Ervig, that neon, I don't know, maybe you call it a robin's egg blue car. He's moving to the inside there. He is on fresher tires. His tires are 7 laps fresher than the top 4 as he's made short work of Harvey and Ralph Mason. He now goes to work for second place on Jacob Boyer. This is allowing Felix Harris to get a little bit of room, though. There you see Michael Harvey, though. He's going to come to the inside of Liam Ervig. Whoa, contact there. And he's starting to make some progress here, but here comes Liam Ervig. The fresh tires are going to play out into the favor of the 76 as he goes from 5th to 1st in only 2 laps. Liam Ervig leads at the line, but here comes Michael Harvey. Started off in the dead last position after picking up the pole last week at Pocono, and he's now going to go to the front. Whoa, big wreck in the back there. Oh my goodness, there were a ton of cars involved in that. The wreck has occurred. The caution is out. I think Michael Harvey's going to lead him to the line, so we'll look back here and see who was involved. Oh, there's what's left of Brandon Gonzalez's machine and John Dawson. They were caught up in it. Aaron Williams may have got some of it. Sasha Dawson is involved, and the caution's out. Oh, there's a spin on the front straightaway here, too. Whoa, look out. Oh, Mary Cole, Jeff Ehlers, Ralph Mason, Ryan Acosta, Wyatt Morgan, Pichu London, Max Skinner, Aaron Reed, Dougie Shears. It's just a pile up here, a parking lot. Arnold Columbia is involved. Here comes Dylan Schwallenberg. He'll pick up a lot of spots. Whoa, there's Ziggy Bain. Another car was upside down. Couldn't tell who that is. Who is that? Toby Ward, upside down. Bill Doverpool, last week's winner, is involved. Max Skinner is in it. Ryan Acosta, we were just talking about him having to be in the top 10 in the standings to get into the race, the All-Star race, and he is involved. George Roque in the 99, he may have been involved, as well as Dylan Poteet. And we know Mary Cole was involved as well. Damage as well to Matthew McMurray. We're still finding out drivers that were involved in this. And Liam Irvig! Whoa! Liam Irvig is on pit road, and he is damaged. Seth Cole's on pit road. And the leader, under the caution, it looks like it's going to be Matthew Rodriguez over Jake Rogers, Anthony McCurry, and Ricky Hawk. 2 wrecks here. Bringing out the caution for the second time today. Let's take a look. Well, here's what happened. I think Ricky Hawk tries to squeeze it 4 wide here. Watch the AMP Toyota Camry number 85. Try and go underneath the 95. Well, they actually were 4 wide before then. I think maybe, yeah. 75 Bill Doberpool, last week's winner, and John Dawson get together. Sasha Dawson, Aaron Williams, and Brandon Gonzalez. They're just innocent bystanders get caught up in it. They had nothing to do with that wreck. They just ended up getting caught up in it. But Bill Doberpool, John Dawson, they're the 2 that make the contact. And that's a tough break there. Some buddies, Sasha Dawson, John Dawson, and Aaron Williams, all caught up in the same incident here, along with the Eco-Fuel Saver Impala of Brandon Gonzalez. But then something even bigger occurs up over on the front straightaway. Let's look at that. Here it is, off turn 4. Matthew Rodriguez makes the least little bit of contact with the Motorola Chevrolet, sends him down, bouncing off the Seth Cole machine, slides up the racetrack, and there's nowhere for Ralph Mason to go. The 76 flips over and onto his roof. Look at Jacob Boyer just get by there. Ziggy Bain, no such luck. He hits the 76. 76 is literally spinning on its roof like a top. He'd be very dizzy in that race car after it flips back over or whatever, but oh, gets up and nails the outside retaining wall again. There you see the contact with the 99 and the 69. George Roque did indeed get involved. Matthew McMurray sustained damage from something a little bit earlier on there on the front straightaway. Don't know what exactly that was. But I think he's going to come up. He's going to hit the Ziggy Bain machine and get even more damage. 76 is still spinning. Dylan Poteet does a good job getting through that. But then here comes Toby Ward into the picture. He gets into the 69. Ryan Acosta got in an incident earlier on. There's Bill Doberpool. Hits the Toby Ward machine. And then, I don't think it's over. Here comes Max Skinner and Aaron Reed, who both also sustained some damage earlier on, too. I think something with Ryan Acosta, Matthew McMurray, and Aaron Reed may have happened. We'll have to catch up with that, see what it was, but there you see Dougie Shears, Pichu London, Wyatt Morgan. They all just go plowing into each other. Arnold Columbia, Ralph Mason. Boy, that's a lot of big names taken out here. Let's look back just a little bit further back and see what happened to Matthew McMurray and others before they got over here to turn 1. Okay, here's what happened. This is when Liam Irvig slid up the racetrack. Ralph Mason nowhere to go. The Judas Priest Chevrolet hits the outside retaining wall. Well, his car is now disabled, and everybody else is just going to try and miss him, and they can't. Arnold Columbia plows in. Matthew McMurray plows in. Jeff Ehlers gets involved as well in the 97. And the 70 car goes spinning. Then back here, you got Ryan Acosta getting into the Arnold Columbia machine. Barney Ward just barely gets by Jeff Ehlers, but does not get by the 70 of Ralph Mason. Mary Cole piles into Ehlers. Then Wyatt Morgan plows into Mary Cole. Dougie Shears plows into Wyatt Morgan. Pichu London's going to plow into Dougie Shears. And it's just on from there. Everybody's all backed up, nowhere to go. Aaron Reed, Max Skinner, they plow into it as well. And boy, huge wreck here on the front straightaway. And this wasn't exactly coming down to the caution flag either. This was still green flag racing, and then the caution came out afterwards. But there's one driver who was really dominant early on, Liam Irvig involved, and just a whole host of race cars involved. Last week's winner, Bill Doberpool, also involved in this wreck that occurred in the front straightaway and over into turn 1. So we'll go back to green flag racing, lap 15 of 49. Here's the way they line up. Matthew Rodriguez is the leader. Jake Rogers second. Third is Anthony McCurry. Fourth place, Ricky Hawk. And Michael Harvey is in fifth. Sixth place will be Felix Harris. Seventh, Jacob Boyer. Dylan Poteet's up to 8th. 9th is Seth Cole. And Dylan Schwallenberg runs in 10th. Bill Doberpool 11th. 12th, Rachel Williams. 13th is George Roque. 14th place is going to be Toby Ward. And that's it. Only 14 cars left on the racetrack. After all that occurred, drivers out of the race are 15th place Ryan Acosta, 16th Jeff Ehlers, 17th Arnold Columbia, 18th will be Wyatt Morgan, 19th will be Dougie Shears and Ralph Mason in 20th. 21st is Liam Ervig, 22nd is Ziggy Bain. 23rd place will be Matthew McMurray, Mary Cole 24th, 25th Pichu London, 25th Max Skinner, Aaron Reed will get 27th, Aaron Williams 28th, John Dawson in 29th, 30th Sasha Dawson, Brandon Gonzalez in 31st, and they will join Ryan Juke and Brad Anamia in the garage area. Toby Ward is one lap down in that 14th position, so we have 14 cars on the racetrack still, 13 on the lead lap. Green flag is back out. I'll tell you what, the field being cut down some leaves an ample opportunity for several drivers to be able to pick up their first win of the season and get into the All-Star race now, and we have received word that based on where everybody else finished, Ryan Acosta, with him retiring and finishing in the 15th position, he has clinched himself a spot into the All-Star race via top 10 in points. So congratulations to him. Even though he did not end today the way I think he wanted to, he is still going to be representing that number 80 in the All-Star race. So congratulations to him as he has been able to succeed in that. Whoa, Michael Harvey onto the apron. Look out. He could bring it back up the racetrack. He got turned there by, I think that may have been Jake Rogers. Don't know for certain. But speaking of Jake Rogers, he now gets Matthew Rodriguez at the line and will take the top spot in the Verizon Dodge. For just joining us, we have had 2 cautions come out. The first one had drivers Ryan Juke and Brad Anamia retiring from the race. And the second one took out just about, I'd say maybe half the field, as Ricky Hawk now takes a turn at the front. We have 13 cars on the lead lap, 14 on the racetrack. Toby Ward is 1 lap down in the 14th position. Well, Ricky Hawk certainly doing a great job right now trying to take the opportunity to win his first race of the season, get in the All-Star race. Here comes Anthony McCurry. McCurry is going to actually be in the All-Star race, even though he is winless this season, though. He holds a win last season after the All-Star race, does the driver of the 88, but Anthony McCurry, certainly this has not been his season so far, as he leads the way, though, in the Mountain Dew Chevrolet, but not for long. Here comes Matthew Rodriguez to the inside, and Rodriguez will, at the stripe, just barely lead over Anthony McCurry. Got a few players in here we haven't talked about yet. Felix Harris, Seth Cole, and how about our pole sitter Jacob Boyer working his way back right up to the front one more time. Michael Harvey and Dylan Poteet also in this mix here. Everybody else is either damaged or out of the race. As Seth Cole makes some contact with Felix Harris. I've seen that a lot here at Atlanta. A driver trying to get to the inside, the leader or whoever the person's trying to pass ends up getting almost turned off of turn 4, but it was a save like Harris just did there that gave Dylan Poteet the win in the Division 2 race yesterday. So here we go as they're 3 wide for second. All this going on behind Felix Harris. Michael Harvey there trying to take second place. Going even lower is Matthew Rodriguez, and Harvey now gets held up behind George Roque and Rachel Williams. Oh, everybody trying to get their way around them. Roque and Williams, they were on the tail end of the lead lap. And they are now going to, break up this whole pack here. They now will fall 1 lap down. Williams in 13th, Roque in 12th. As the leader is Felix Harris. It's now a 3-car breakaway for the top spot. Harris, then Jacob Boyer, and then Matthew Rodriguez. I was saying earlier, I don't think we've ever seen Felix Harris really up at the front and competing for a win like this. He made his debut in Season 2, finished that season 29th in points when driving the number 35 for Tommy Baldwin Racing. He now is in the top 20 in standings right now, where he is in the 93 car for AMCO Motorsports, and right now he is running in front here in the Dollar General 500 version 3, but not for long. Pole sitter Jacob Boyer trying to come back and pick up the win here, as they will split Toby Ward. They split Dylan Schwallenberg, and out in front now will be Jacob Boyer. Moving up through the pack now is Anthony McCurry. He's now moved into 4th place. Well, no sooner does he get it, but he loses it as there's... Whoa, look out! McCurry gets held up behind the slower car of Toby Ward, the lap car. He loses a ton of spots. He lost, I think that was 7th. No, that was 8th to Michael Harvey. Now Seth Cole gets held up behind Dylan Schwallenberg. His lap car is not helping out at all. It's now a 2-car breakaway, nose to tail. Go Jacob Boyer, our pole sitter, and Felix Harris. Harris now going to dive back to the inside line. These drivers trying to catch back up. Ricky Hawk, Matthew Rodriguez, Dylan Poteet, Jake Rogers, and Anthony McCurry. Seth Cole also trying to catch back up. But as these drivers race amongst themselves, it's allowing these two to settle it out for 1st and 2nd. It now is Felix Harris by about a car length over Jacob Boyer. He comes down, hits the stripe. We got about 12 laps remaining. Harris out in front, Jacob Boyer 2nd. This race may, I don't know for certain, but it may come down to fuel strategy. If we go into a green flag run all the way to the checkers, I don't think we've yet had that opportunity to know just how far these drivers can stretch it on fuel before having to make a pit stop. Now, we do know that these drivers made pit stops back on either lap 7 or lap 14. Some pitted on lap 7, some pitted on lap 14. So we know that some can stretch it a little bit further than others. And we're going to have to see who's going to be right there. I think that was a little bit of give and take by Felix Harris. He said to Jacob Boyer, okay, I know you're faster than me. I'll let you get out in front here, and then I'll ride behind you for a while and try and study you for maybe making a move on you at the end of the race. But right now, maybe they're getting single file because they got these 2 slower cars up ahead. George Roque and Rachel Williams again going to go yet another lap down to the leaders. And now you got those other cars coming up. Michael Harvey, Ricky Hawk, and others trying to get by. Can they? They're all squeezing down to the inside. And looks like they're going to make their way by. Tell you what, they go about 2 or 3 wide coming up on these slower race cars. And somehow, some way, they get through without wrecking. As they continue to battle it out. This is for position number 3. All going on behind these two who are kind of having a heyday of their own, just driving away from everybody. Look at Felix Harris get a run there on Jacob Boyer as he got held up behind the slower car of last week's winner, Bill Doberpool. Harris now going to try and sneak to the inside. Right now getting blocked and cannot put the move on Jacob Boyer this time. Whoa! Dylan Poteet, good save. Nearly got turned by Michael Harvey off turn 2 there. But keeps it together in the Denver Mattress Furniture Row Chevrolet. And while all this mayhem is going on, these top 2 may have some company within a lap or 2. Ricky Hawk, Michael Harvey, and company are starting to catch them. You see them there. Yeah, they're only about maybe 7-8 car lengths away from these top 2. Ricky Hawk, Michael Harvey, Ricky Hawk and Matthew Rodriguez starting to catch up there. There they are, 3rd and 4th. And they are coming up right onto the back bumper of the Kingsford Toyota. It's now going to be a 4-man fight for the lead, just like that. Dylan Poteet back in 5th, trying to catch up, make it a 5-man fight, but he's got about 12 to 14 car lengths to make up. It's Felix Harris, Jacob Boyer, and now some new players for the lead, Ricky Hawk and Matthew Rodriguez. All 4 of these drivers have yet to clinch themselves spots in this year's All-Star race. Boyer back to the front. So at this rate, we are insured another driver getting a entrance into the All-Star race via win. Look at Matthew Rodriguez down the apron. I think he's coming for pit road. Yes, he is. Matthew Rodriguez and Ricky Hawk, both of them did not pit. The last time they pitted was lap 7, so we know they can make it about 28 or so laps. Anthony McCurry is also on pit road as green flag pit stops have begun. All three of these drivers are running inside the top 10 before diving onto pit road to make their regularly scheduled pit stops. So the leader is still, I believe, Felix Harris over Jacob Boyer. He now puts Anthony McCurry and Ricky Hawk a lap down, as well as Matthew Rodriguez, as they decide to stay out one more lap, do Harris and Boyer. Oh! Big wreck in the back. I think I saw... Whoa, no, they saved it. I saw Toby Ward get turned into the outside retaining wall, but he held on to it. Good save. And Harris and Boyer continue to stay out. They can make it about 7 more laps before they'd have to come back, before they'd have to come down pit road. So let's see, 28. They would probably come down somewhere around lap 42, if my calculations are correct. They may try pitting a little bit earlier, but here comes Boyer down to the inside. They've got the slower cars of Rachel Williams and George Roque up ahead again. And now pole sitter Jacob Boyer is going to give up second position to make his regularly scheduled pit stop. That'll move Michael Harvey into position number 2, Seth Cole third, and Dylan Poteet, who I believe was the driver who turned Toby Ward there. He's got some front-end damage, but he is still in the 4th place. Felix Harris makes short work of lap cars Rachel Williams and George Roque, and he will continue to lead the way. He still is not coming down pit road. Harris, don't know if it'd be so wise to try and stretch it all the way on fuel, but right now he's opened up a nice little real estate over the second place car of Seth Cole now, as Michael Harvey, I guess, has dived onto pit road, and that is indeed the case. Regularly scheduled pit stop for the 89. And now it's going to be Felix Harris. He will come down pit road. We'll see if Seth Cole's going to follow him down. And Dylan Poteet, no. They will stay out, Will Poteet and Cole. Dylan Poteet led that time at the line. He's led a lap, has Dylan Poteet. Just barely led over Seth Cole as they were trying to get around the Rachel Williams machine. So let's see who hasn't pitted yet. Dylan Poteet, Seth Cole. And I think everybody else is pitted. I think it's Seth Cole and Dylan Poteet that we're waiting on. And no sooner do we say that, but both of them will dive onto pit road, and they will get ready to make their pit stops. Rachel Williams, the lap car, also going to be on pit road. So that will cycle the lead over to, I believe, Ricky Hawk, who is battling it out here with Matthew Rodriguez. Now, it will all depend on where everybody else comes out. Well, there's Felix Harris. He just completed his pit service, so he is going to cycle around as the leader now, it looks like. He was able to get out ahead of Matthew Rodriguez and Ricky Hawk, but maybe not for long. Here they come in a full head of steam. Rodriguez to the high side, Ricky Hawk down low. The meat and sandwich, that's Felix Harris. And they got George Roque up ahead. Whoa! He holds up Ricky Hawk, and that could have been a 3-way wreck there between the top 3, but that's going to cycle the lead over to the National Guard Toyota Camry of Matthew Rodriguez. Pit stops have been made. They have cycled through. Let's go through the field, show you who is running where as soon as they cross the start-finish line. Matthew Rodriguez, we know, is cycled around now to be the leader of this race. Second place is Felix Harris. Ricky Hawk runs in 3rd. Jacob Boyer there in 4th. And Jake Rogers is in 5th. These guys could close up, make it a 5-man fight for the win before all said and done. We only got 7 laps to go, but there's still plenty of time. Anthony McCurry, he is in 6th place. 7th now is going to be, I think, Seth Cole. 8th is Dylan Poteet. 9th place is going to be Michael Harvey. And then 10th place is last week's winner, Bill Doberpool. But Doberpool is running 1 lap down. Here's a battle on for the lead. Felix Harris to the inside of Matthew Rodriguez. Look back there, Ricky Hawk, Jacob Boyer, Jake Rogers. They've got time. If they work together, they can catch up, make it a 5-man fight for the win. But here's Felix Harris. He will take the inside line. He will take the lead. He'll come down to the stripe. 5 laps to go here at Atlanta. First time today we've had a long green flag run. First time this weekend, actually. And whoa, my goodness, whoa, Matthew Rodriguez nearly ended the hopes right there of both himself and Felix Harris, but Harris hangs on and still holds the lead. The thing that I cannot understand is how these drivers are able to not only make the save, but they make the save holding it wide open. They don't lose any positions. It's as if it doesn't phase their car in the least. They don't touch the brake, they keep it punched in the throttle, and they get it saved and continue on. We talked about Bowyer and Rogers and Hawk catching up. That's exactly what they've done. There's pole sitter Jacob Bowyer trying to finish where he started in the lead. He is in second. Rogers now all over him for that position. He gets into Bowyer, but they keep it together. And here comes Bowyer just like a bolt of lightning to the inside line. Tries to make a move on Felix Harris. No dice. Harris throws the block, but this time Bowyer's going to shove it in there. It almost turns Harris again. Harris making two tremendous saves and still holds the lead. Up ahead is Michael Harvey, but he is on the tail end of the lead lap in 8th position. No doubt about it, he's going to fight for all he's worth. Felix Harris going to come to the inside line. Will he get underneath Harvey? Harvey indeed will open up the inside line and let Felix Harris on by. Felix Harris has 2 laps to go, make it now 1.5. They've got the slower car of Rachel Williams up ahead. Into second now moves Jake Rogers. Third place will be Ricky Hawk. Falling back to fourth will be Jacob Bowyer as they all get caught up behind the car of Rachel Williams and George Roque. It is Felix Harris receiving the white flag. He's got the lap car behind him of Michael Harvey, then quite a ways back to pole sitter Jacob Bowyer. But Bowyer, he could run him down as Harvey has gotten to the inside. No! Schwallenberg holds him up, and that's going to allow Felix Harris to run away with it. Felix Harris finished 29th in the standings last season. This season's been so much better, and Felix Harris going to pull off the major upset out of turn 4. The Felix Harris machine, number 93, will go to the All-Star race as he wins the Dollar General 500 version 3 at Atlanta. What a race, what a finish, and what a way to cap off Atlanta. Felix Harris picks up his first career Snickers Cup Series victory in his second Snickers Cup Series season. Ricky Hawk's going to get credited for second. Jacob Bowyer, first on the start, third on the finish. What a day for him. Great run for that car. Matthew Rodriguez will get 4th, and 5th place is going to go to Jake Rogers. But it's all Felix Harris as he wins the race. The point standings are coming up. Check to see if you're in the All-Star race. You'll be highlighted in yellow if you are, and we are getting set to head into an exciting, epic, and never-seen-before All-Star race weekend at M&M Speedway. Man, am I pumped. I am so looking forward to it. And we are going to show you now the finishing order in the standings heading in to that exciting event. Tune in for that. Lots going to be coming there at M&M Super Speedway. We hope to see you there. You've been watching the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.